the transition from a teacher to this, just in terms of the nature of the material?
Sure. I knew that I wanted to try something different, something not as dark, both the material and the subject and the actual physical look of the film. And so, yeah, that was the transition.
How about just in terms of getting the green light to make another film? Did that kind of pave the way at all?
Well, it certainly did. I got a call from Mark Duplass, who came to me with an idea of doing a film about a young adult relationship drama, and this immediately sprung forth, and here we are.
Yeah.
How was it developing the script? Because I was at the screening in New York, actually, and I remember you guys talking about how there kind of is no script, it's more of an outline.
There were specific scenes where there was more sort of expanded dialogue, and then other scenes were sort of a description of what we thought we'd do. And we usually would like talk about it the night before, and then we'd have a lot of extensive rehearsals during the day.
Yeah.
So we would find the rhythm of whatever it is that we were going to get.
The script also had pictures in it, which I loved.
Yeah.
So as just visuals, like tonal references, and I was like, this is so cool. I understand what she's trying to say.
Yeah, it's also hugely important because film's a visual medium, and I'm always really concerned with what the film is going to look like. So to actually get a sense of that Hannah was visual, and that what those pictures that she was referencing were sort of exactly what this film needed to look like was like all the more reason that I was excited to do the film.
How do you go about casting something like this when it's that kind of approach to a script? Did you immediately know who you wanted for it?
For the most part, yeah. And Mark and I got on a Skype call with both of them individually, and immediately for both of you guys, we were just like, we have to cast them.
Yes! Good impression.
Because it was more about, I mean, obviously they're both incredible actors, and that's how I knew about them through their work, but it's more, do I want to spend the next few years of my life looking at these people?
So it's just on surface level.
No, but also when making a film the way that we did, it gets very intimate, and I want these people to be my friends too, and am I going to trust them? Are they going to trust me?
Yeah, that was a big part of it.
We became like a family. It was like summer camp.
Yeah, it was.
And I think that's how Mark pitched it to you guys too.
Exactly.
It was great. We all lived in the production house together. It was one house that we used as my character's house in the movie, and
Mel's bedroom was my bedroom.
Yeah, Mel's bedroom was
Real
her
life.
bedroom. Lainey, the production designer, she made it so cool and beautiful. But yeah, it was awesome. Just like waking up together, going to work was me walking downstairs to hair and makeup. It was fun. It was really convenient. It was a fun time.
That's so nice to hear, because I don't think many people realize that when you make a movie, it's not just like going to work every day. You do essentially, whether you're living on location with people together or not, you're on top of them all the time.
It's true.
Yeah.
This was a special thing though, because a lot of the times it does feel like going to work every day. But Hannah created a set that was something very different than that.
It was very close-knit. It was just, the crew wasn't as large as some of the other projects I've worked on, but it was nice. It was almost nicer in a way, because it got so personal and intimate in the best way possible, just working with your friends who feel like family.
Is there any intimidation factor with you two with your characters? Because there's some pretty intense breakdowns. I mean, maybe this is why I'm not an actor, but the idea of putting myself in that headspace is the most terrifying thing I can imagine.
I love it. Isn't it terrible?
No, it's not terrible. That's why you're great at it.
I mean, I think I find that, just reading this scriptment, this term that they've coined so beautifully. That's what you want. You want to read something and if you connect to it when you're reading it and realize that you think you can access those emotions, it's exciting and fun. And I loved going there with you.
Yeah, no, me too, Ben. It's fun. I love punching you.
That's great.
What's nice though, between, as soon as they call action, I'm in it, or maybe 30 seconds before they call action, I'm in it, you call cut, and I like to step away for a second. Obviously some takes are immediately you go right after, so you try and stay in the headspace, but I love going there and feeling, and truly feeling, or not truly feeling what the character is feeling, but close enough that you can give a real performance. I like shedding it right away. I have to
It's
joke around
incredible
on
that
set.
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
don't know.
I mean,
It's
I don't know how,
amazing.
but it works out like that. But like, I need to do that. Just I'm a happy person as it is. I like to smile, guys. But
We all do.
yeah, right? No, actually, no. Yeah, it was great on set because when it didn't need to be like super quiet and just focused and intense, everyone's joking, everyone's having a blast. It was a good time.
How much backstory did you guys do on these characters before you
A lot.
jumped in? Because we get that nice montage at the beginning, but it almost makes me wonder, I don't know, how'd they first meet? Like, what was their first date like? All that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
those are questions that Hannah and Ben and I were all asking in the beginning. We took a trip to
Stockbridge,
Stockbridge.
Stockbridge.
Massachusetts, Berkshires.
The Berkshires.
The country.
Like, we took a trip out to the country. And, yeah, we sat down and just
Talk about
created the relationship.
Yeah.
the history.
Yeah.
Are there any fun details you can share that didn't make it into the final cut of
What
the
what
film?
what was supposed to be Mel and Dan's first concert?
Was it
Wilco? Which I come to love after we
I
shot.
think it was.
That's funny.
It was a Wilco concert because it
I
was
think
like
that was something you
it
guys
was-
came up with together.
Yeah.
No, don't try and back off of me because like you're not in a Wilco
I love
phase right
Wilco.
now. I remember talking about this because it was like Wilco is like palatable, and I
Yeah.
think Dan would probably have more sort of like experimental taste in music, but Mel maybe it's like ease her into like the indie rock thing.
Yeah.
And
Which,
Wilco.
which actually Ben and Hannah were doing for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Easing
have you
her
heard of
into
this
indie
band? I'm like, yeah, sure. No. So,
Yeah.
I got
So
some
Wilco
education.
was the first show they ever went to
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Can you guys relate to the choices that they make in the film at all? Because, I mean, on the one hand, it's an experience that I've never been through, but the idea of kind of giving up important things for work and just feeling so attached like that, that's something that anybody can kind of relate to a degree.
Well, I think that's the important crux of the movie is that everyone can relate to that first love. And the rest is just,
Circumstance.
dressing.
Yeah.
Icing.
Just a little vinaigrette. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what drew me to it. It was very relatable.
How about the music stuff? Do you have like a head for that at
I
all?
play music. It's sort of my other passion in life. And I didn't think about it that like I was just really impressed with the dynamic between Dan and Mel in the story and that sort of. But then being there, yeah, I mean, it was lucky that I know some things about music, so it
Was
was.
that just a coincidence that was in the scriptment?
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, they didn't write it for me or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. He was already a record label guy.
But when we did cast Ben during that initial Skype call,
It was a bonus.
it was
I
bonus,
talked about
but
that?
yeah, you're like, I'm really like into that. I'm like working on an album, and Mark and I were like, tell us more.
BenRosenfield.bandcamp.com. Check it out.
Shout out.
Did the characters change a lot from what you first envisioned for this to what we're seeing now in the final cut?
No,
I think it was just
It was great.
personalized a little bit more. Like
Yeah.
we put our little touches on it when Hannah was very collaborative and like, let's talk it through. Let's figure out these characters together and figure out the story. I mean, obviously we already had like the guidelines and a lot of the meat, but we got to put in like little side dishes and little fun things,
It's like the complete opposite experience of the Final Girls for you, because that seems to be more, you gotta hit your marks and hit the right points in the horror movie, whereas this feels more, free feeling where you can maybe even improvise a little.
No, it was definitely a very different experience. There was a lot of improv on this, which in the Final Girls there was more like this is your dialogue. Although a lot of the comedians like Adam Devine and Thomas Middleditch, they got to riff and improv themselves. So sometimes we had liberties there, but yeah, that's what was so appealing about this project though was the freedom of it and how different it was from any other movie I'd made before. And originally we were supposed to shoot in chronological order. Didn't work out, but like that
Pretty
experience.
close, though.
They did a good job at trying to make it
It
as
was like in
close as
pieces.
possible.
Yeah.
But
well, so that the more high stakes emotional scenes were at the end
Yeah.
when we had gone through some high stakes things.
Which is really uncommon. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the times you show up to set and like have to kill yourself the
The first day.
and then you go back and like,
yeah.
which is ridiculous.
It sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It works out though.
Yeah.
You must have an insanely dedicated script supervisor to make sure you can jump around and then maybe hit all the stuff that they come up with later on.
Yeah,
Who
well,
was scripty?
we didn't really have a scripty.
It
But
was wild.
It was just,
yeah,
we
it was
just
a
went
free
for
for
it.
all,
Yeah.
which I have to say made editing quite difficult, and it's a huge testament to both of the editors, Sophie Marshall and Carlos Marquette, who really pulled all the pieces together.
How did you feel when you wrapped with this? Because I guess shooting out of order and having so much material improvised, did you kind of have a sense, like, you know, we nailed this and it's going to fit together, or did that not
We
come
were yes, editing the film as we were shooting, so we could go back and do some reshoots immediately if something wasn't working. I always get very sad at the end of a shoot, and
It was a bummer.
yeah, it was really because it is like summer camp, and
This was a special movie too.
yeah.
The other fear is I would say most projects generally, it's like you get really close and then it's over and you don't see the people that much, and those friendships rarely hold up. Yeah, not in this case.
Yep.
Keeping in touch, yeah.
Before they make me leave, I wanted to ask about some upcoming stuff. You got to work with Woody Allen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was definitely one of the big dreams of mine. I love Woody Allen as a filmmaker, and it was amazing just to be on his set and watch the way he works. It's very unique, and I definitely learned a lot.
Is there anything in particular that really surprised you about his style?
I guess I don't know if it was surprising necessarily, because I am somewhat obsessed and I've read a lot about him, but it was not a lot of takes and very technical stuff. He doesn't like to talk about emotional motivations or anything like that. It's just sort of like, walk and go there and say your lines. And he there's a lot of improv in Woody Allen movies too, which you might not necessarily expect, but he doesn't really care how you say the lines as long as you
That's cool.
get
Yeah.
there.
There's no appropriate transition for this, but American Horror Story. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I wanted to know what you think of American Horror Story Hotel with Lady Gaga.
I mean, man, I had no idea, so I saw the news when all the fans got it. I'm like, whoa, cool, I have no idea, but this sounds great. So I'm just, I'm excited to see what they do.
Is there any interest in doing it again?
I mean, if they call me back, I'd love to. I am about to go shoot a pilot as soon as I finish here at South by, which has been it's been so cool. I don't know. I've got 3 projects here, so it's so nice to get the gratification of actually premiering things and seeing it in front of an audience. And I mean, it's going so well because everyone loves the movies. But then I'm gonna go shoot a pilot. Well, I mean, they could hate it and then we'd be really sad.
It'd be a bummer.
But it's going well, so.
It'd be a bummer.
But yeah, I'm gonna go shoot a pilot after this, and then we'll see what happens.